Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Opps SportsCast. I'm your host, Dave in the Cut. And you got me tonight, people. I'm hosting. I know I
Oh,
haven't done
good.
it in a long time, man, but Peasy is on vacation with his family, enjoying himself. So I know you guys are going to miss the wonderful talents of his, lowbrow comedy
We'll be all right.
and gaslighting and starting trouble with his
Devil's advocate.
let me play
Let's put it
devil's
into
advocate. No, let me
context.
stop messing with Peasy, man.
That's
We
our boy.
that's our boy, man. But yeah, he's on vacation with his family. I hope he's having a good time. They're down in Florida,
Soaking up the sun.
soaking up the sun, the humidity, and all of that. So you got us, you got me hosting. Welcome to the Opps SportsCast. We're glad to have you with us tonight. Got my crew here with me tonight. How y'all doing, fellas?
Chilling.
Live and well.
Mad dash from church to the screen.
Figure, man. It's how it be. Luckily, man, we live somewhere where you could get everywhere in like 15 minutes, even the suburbs.
Facts.
You know?
Grateful.
Yeah, man. So you don't get stretched out too much, which is cool. So let me have you guys introduce yourselves. Let's start with the man to my on screen.
You want to start with the black guy? That make it easier.
Let's start with the melanated brother.
It's your boy Big Z.
And I'm the least melanated of the crew. Josh, East side.
What up, Josh? Josh, East Side. Glad to have you, fellas. It's been crazy, man. We've had some crazy weather here in Rochester, man, since we were last broadcasting to you guys. It's been in the 90s, man. It's been bananas. Been in and out of the pool for the last week, which is crazy. Last couple of days have been overcast, but it's cool. We always long for that here in Rochester because we see in the snow all the time. We have such long winters, even though we haven't had a lot of snow lately, man. But we've been blessed in that area. So yeah, let me stop blabbing, man. Let me just give a shout out really quick to our sponsor, Opposition Radio. Opposition Radio is a 24-hour internet radio station specializing in hip hop, R&B, EDM, reggae. Did I say Latin? Latin, and I already said EDM. I'm trying to go off the dome. I'm trying not to read it. But they are our amazing sponsor, and if you get an opportunity, please check them out by going to theoppsradio.live.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be a sponsor of the show, I'll leave some details in our description, and you can help us out by partnering with us and becoming a sponsor. We will advertise you or your business, whatever it is that you want to advertise. Obviously, we are a faith-based podcast, so if you got the next hot whiskey or something like that, we absolutely will not be able to uh, to promote that for you. But pretty much anything else, as long as it's not violence and it's not harmful to anybody, I mean, when I say violence, though, I mean if we get a boxing promoter or MMA promoter, now that's something a little different.
Whole different story right there.
Promote that all day long. So, but
Definitely.
yeah, so Opposition Radio. No, shout out to our sponsor, Opposition Radio. Like I said, if you get an opportunity, make the time to go over and check out Opposition Radio at theoppsradio.live. Opposition Radio, motivation to stand firm. Shout out to my partners over there at Opposition Radio. Love you, brothers. Fellas,
Dope.
we got some good topics, man. Tonight we're gonna talk about the NBA. Not NBA. We done with NBA. I got NBA on the brain, man. We've been
Gone.
talking about NBA so much.
Gone.
Done.
It's done. It's done. So we're gonna talk about the MLB All-Star game. Um, and what else we got on tap, Z? We're gonna talk about well, we had this kind of decided it was just gonna be me and Zeke this week.
Yeah, and
Because
then Josh was like,
we're on the big,
"Ooh, let me
yeah.
jump in." We was like,
Josh
"Bet."
Josh slid in. We wasn't expecting Josh to be here. Josh has a lot going on these days, with our
Thank
church.
you, Bree.
So,
She's
so
laughing in the background.
what happened?
She's laughing in the background.
Oh,
I had to thank the missus. We had a discussion earlier after Bible study, so
Uh-huh.
oh,
I
okay.
had to thank her for letting our boy come out and play tonight.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. So here's the thing, man. I don't know. Back in the day, my first car was a Renault Alliance. It was a little French car, man, right? Little four banger. That it
Nice.
had like 13-inch rims on it, man. It was like the tires were like bicycle tires, right? And four lugs held the wheel on, right?
Mm.
All right. So if you were missing a lug nut, right? If I only had three lug nuts, I was like, it was okay, but it didn't feel right. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You
Yep.
feel me?
Yep.
If you only had two on there, even if you had them crisscross,
You
it
was
was
gonna
like
get a
you
wobble.
right dirty.
Danger.
You know what I'm saying? Things was gonna get rough. So it's the same with this podcast, bro. It's like when one of the lug nuts is missing, man, things are we have we carry through, man, but it's just not the same, man.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
hear
the
you.
same when somebody's not here, like with PZ not being here. It's just not the same, man. So, but we ride through, man, and we follow through and we do what we do. But it's just not the same when somebody's missing. So, Josh, we appreciate you dropping in, and Sister Bree, we appreciate you allowing our boy to be with us this evening. I'm not one of them brothers, man. It's like, man, I tell my woman what's going on. Nah, man. It's like, listen, that's not, nah, man. You feel me?
Yes,
If you
sir.
don't want, if you don't want to get unalived in your sleep, bro, you check in with your lady
It's a
and you
fact.
say, hey, babe, hey,
Yep.
y'all feel me, man. I don't
Other
need,
half right there.
huh?
That's the other half right there.
That's it, man. So, but anyhow, man. So we appreciate our wives understanding that we've committed ourselves to doing this every week, because we love talking sports, man. This is like I love doing this, and I'm glad that we've been blessed to be able to do this, man. So
Absolutely.
Amen.
so we were going to be a MLB heavy episode, but we sprinkled some other things in there, and the rundown when we do the weekly rundown, we have some other topics in there as well. But so Josh, let's do this, man. Let's go ahead and kick it off. Now I
Mhm.
know Josh, you're not really a MLB guy, but um, you could play off of me and Zeke here on this one, man.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about the MLB All
Awesome.
Star game, and like there were some serious snubs that took place um, with the MLB voting for All Star Weekend. Mookie Betts was snubbed. Juan Soto was snubbed. I don't care as a Yankee fan. Juan Soto he's no longer, in my opinion, um, uh, vertical in room temperature. I'll put it that way. Okay. To me, he's not. All right. He no longer has breath in his lungs after he deserted us the way he did. But that's a
He
whole
has
that's a
been
whole
unplugged from the matrix.
story. However, the talent that is Juan Soto, how can you snub a man like Juan Soto? We'll get into it, bro. Juan Soto, Mookie Betts. All right, so let's talk about this. I've seen this trend across multiple sports platforms over the last 6-7 years. So here let's kick it off with this. All right, it's more of a question. We're not going to do the voting on this one,
Okay.
but has the voting for All Star games across all sports platforms gotten out of hand? And I left the question mark out for there. My bad.
I got you.
Um, uh, let me open up with my boy Josh. Josh, tell me what you think, man.
Yeah. You know, I don't know a whole lot about the All-Star voting process for a lot of the other sports.
Yeah.
I understand it a little bit for the NBA. I definitely understand it for the NFL. And at least speaking from the NFL perspective, right? Um, which you would say is the Pro Bowl, right? If you look at the All-Star game for the NFL, I just look at it as, they probably have one of the more reliable mixes of all-star voting, but there's been some like past Pro Bowl votes that were questionable. And what I understand the voting process to be is it's a mixture of fans, viewers, and then you have your players association and you have coaching staff and some organizations. It's a good combination of all of them. But in recent history, like for example, I remember a couple years back we had Devin White from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over Roquan Smith, and that was like the story, the headline during the Pro Bowl. Like, how the heck did Devin White get in? And there was some discussions about Roquan's off the field personality things that may have played part into it. So my short answer to a long-winded discussion there is I think that it's reasonable still if it takes the motto of the NFL, but sometimes there's just those questionable things that make you wonder, like, is it really just who you know, or what? Like at the
Right.
end of the day. So that's kind of my take on this. But I'm here to listen and learn here for a second. So I'm curious what you guys got to say.
All right. Big Z,
Yeah,
pose that
so
question to you, bro. Go ahead.
my take on this is like the All-Star games are for the fans.
Yes.
Um, so the fan vote being like a big part of who gets in, like as far as like the starters. I know with the MLB, it's people complain that it's a popularity contest, but I mean, you want people to watch. You want the fans to get their guys in there so they can watch and be excited about the All-Star game. There were a lot of people questioning my boy Ronald getting voted in as a starter, but I mean, you gotta look at the circumstances. My man came um in May, the middle of May, and just started balling. He's fallen off a little bit. I think it's the weight of like having to carry what has been an abysmal team. I really don't want to go in too much on that because I'll go off on a tangent, and I don't want to go to bed in a bad mood. But he's had to carry the team a lot, and that's a lot of pressure. So he's fallen off a little bit. But when he first came back, I mean, the first pitch, first swing, put it in the bullpen,
Hmm.
and he was on fire from the word go. And it's in Atlanta, so
Hmm.
I mean, it would have been I mean, he's already committed to being in the home run derby, so I wasn't too surprised when he was named a starter. Um, as far as the starters, yeah, get let the fans vote the starters in. You want to use the coaches to fill out the rest of the roster. That might be where it gets into who you know type of deal. I mean, I love Clayton Kershaw. I don't know if he should be on the All Star team. They could
Right.
have they could have made him like you remember when we used to play pickup football. You had an all time quarterback. Let
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw go pitch one inning for the American League, one inning for the National League. Just let him be like all time pitcher for an inning, but don't take a roster spot from somebody who deserves it on the National League side
Yeah.
just because Dave Roberts wants to get his guy in there one last time. Um, that gets to be where it's more like, all right, who do you know? Is this a politics thing? I mean, you could argue Juan Soto needs to be in there. Who you gonna take out? I saw a comparison. I was gonna send a meme to the group chat, but I didn't want my boy Chris to think I was antagonizing him. It said one guy just signed a $765 million contract, and the other guy's an all-star. There was a picture of Juan Soto and James Wood, the rookie phenom from the Nationals.
Hmm.
My man is having a heck of a year. And it would have been hard to say that he shouldn't be an All Star. Especially since he's been doing it consistently. Soto just got hot recently, but he started off pretty bad.
Hmm.
Um, he's been turning it on, and it is trending to look like he's gonna have Juan Soto type numbers at the end of the year. But yeah, I say especially and
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
well, I mean, the look, as much as I hate the fact that he's wearing that uniform, the dude is a generational talent. So
No doubt.
he's just, he's gonna have his slumps. I mean, I don't see him being superstar for 15 years in New York or however long he's there. He's gonna have his slumps, but like Brian Snicker and a lot of the old school guys say, the back of the baseball card don't lie. And at the end of the year, he's gonna have his numbers. It is what it is. But yeah, let the All Star games, especially since they made everything right again when they said the All Star game don't count for home field advantage. That was a mistake because now it's not just about seeing your favorite team represented. It's like, all right, why do I care if the Rockies have a representative if they're not even gonna make the playoffs?
Right.
If this is gonna
Right.
count, well, if this is gonna count, get rid of that. And let's just have the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Mets representing the National League, and the Yankees and whoever else is out at the time. Oh, the Blue Jays. Dang, Dave, what's going on with your Yankees, man?
Uh we're winning 9-6 right now.
That's cool. I mean,
This will be a 2 game winning streak, man. We on fire, bro.
the Dodgers just dropped their sixth straight.
6 straight, man. I was on Twitter today, man. Where all the Dodgers fans, man? They were talking a lot
Look,
of.
I got
Where they at,
nothing.
man?
We just got boat raced by the Athletics. I can't
They
believe I
ain't,
was
man.
so mad. I stayed up and watched that game, and before like the TV was warm from me turning it on, we were down 5-0. And I was like, all right, it's just the first inning. We can get back in this. And then the next inning, they hit another grand slam, and now we're down 9-0. I'm like, why am I still watching this game? I got work in the morning.
I hear you, man. It's hard to turn it off though, man. When you're seasoned and conditioned to do so, it's hard
Yeah.
to turn it off, man.
Invested.
It's I don't know, man. As a Christian man, I don't want to say it's addictive, but it is, bro. It's one of those things, and it's for me. It may not sound like it at times,
Hmm.
but I know how to separate, reality from what's going on with my Yankees. But they do push that limit,
Mm.
um, and they have been over the last couple weeks with me. For me, man, they've been pushing my buttons, man. Let
And
me.
that's part of the reason why I know it's gonna be like kind of off topic, but as like you just mentioned with like knowing how to turn it off, it's kind of the reason why I fell back from the Cowboys. I used to be much more of a football fan,
Mhm.
but in baseball, if your team loses three or four in a row, it's like, all right, it's a 162 game season. Football, your
Right,
team lose three, 4 games in a row, it's like, dang, it's a wrap. 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
right.
So yeah.
Nah, that's facts, man. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. So my thing with with the voting,
Mhm.
has the voting for All Star games across all sports platforms gotten out of hand? I wouldn't necessarily say out of hand, but what I would say is that I feel like there needs to be a little bit more control. Like if Mike Trout gets hurt in the first 3 weeks of the season,
He should not be eligible to be on
he
the All
should
Star
not be
team.
eligible. Now, that being said, I feel like there should be ambassador slots, like you said, where those guys still come and they still do, the dog and pony show. They um, shake hands, kiss babies,
Yeah,
because that's what the fans want to see. As much as like, when Otani got hurt, he got hurt in, they were like he got voted to the All Star game and stuff. I was like, I get it because the appeal, man, the appeal from the other side of the world for this event, not only just from a fan standpoint, but a money advertising standpoint for the league. So I get it. You know, and it's a business, and they are there to put butts in the seats.
Right.
What what I would like to see though, I think so. In a case like Ronald Acuna, Ronald Acuna came back soon enough to make an impression. This whole thing with Clayton Kershaw, get because Dave Roberts is managing or whatever, trying to get his boy in there. That kind of stuff is whack to me. And I think that what happens is what I would like to see happen is the host city automatically gets a certain amount of slots for their teams, for the host city's team, for their players. So like um I would say two spots, two ambassador spots. If these guys, if they're not, it's guaranteed that the host city is going to have two slots for ambassadors. They may not play in the game, but they are ambassadors. And as the All Star game goes around, as it gets passed around from city to city, if that logic or that process follows to the next city, so that way you don't have this whole, hey, let's everybody flood the voting system to get this guy in. Well, if he didn't really deserve to be there, why are we flooding the system? Why are we allowing the flooding of the system or the manipulation of the voting system just to get a guy in because that's his whole it's being played in his home city? And so that's where it starts for me. It starts to get weird because then you have journalists, you have people in front offices, hourly advocating for beating the system and cheating the system.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't look at it that way because it's the more votes that people put in, it's going to give that person an opportunity to come out on top. So I get it. That's what they're supposed to do. But I just don't think it's a good look when front offices are advocating for a guy that's been hurt or hasn't or he only played 1 week in the season and they want him to be an all-star. I think that's whack because it takes away from a person who's been busting his butt to be there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's like you want the most popular people there because that's what people want. People want to see the most popular players on the field. So, um,
Yeah, but Dave, kind of like what you brought up, like if I go back to like the NFL model, if Pro Bowl is happening and a player who is 100% in the Pro Bowl, but also going far in the playoffs and playing the Super Bowl, they're not going to play him, right? So then now you're looking at that version of All Star Pro Bowl. You're like the people want to see their favorite players playing in Hawaii, but the organization is like, heck no. And the player probably likely is saying the same thing. Like, nah, man, I'm not risking injury just so I can miss out on the biggest game of my life.
right, right.
It's kind of it's a tough one for them. They probably should consider moving the Pro Bowl until after the big game, honestly.
I would agree with that.
Do you think it would matter though? Like guys go out there where they win the Super Bowl and it's like, do they really want to worry about playing an exhibition game or they want to just
I,
bask in the ambience of a job well done?
I think they would for the sake of PR, for their publicity, for their fan base, for their name. Honestly, a lot of these guys they care about the fan base. They care about their platform. They care about their name and their brand, like Dave always says. And
Yep.
so, I really think that they would consider it. Like for example, I mean I've seen dudes like play pickup games, and out in the field and playing. I remember Tyreek Hill. There was like this one YouTube or Twitch streamer. I can't remember his name, but like he was going viral all the time. And Tyreek Hill got out on the football field and was running routes against him and stuff like that. And everybody was like, "Dude, what is this guy doing? He could get hurt playing against a YouTuber." But
Yep.
that's just their mo. That's their motto. They just they get the publicity. They want to be out there with the fans.
Yeah. But at what cost? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a cost to it. There's no doubt.
Yeah. So
Ruin your whole next season.
no doubt. All right, fellas, that was a good one, man. Good topic there. All right, so let's move on to the next topic here. Let's see where we at, Josh.
Got you right here, Dave.
Okay, sweet, man. All right, concessions for the elite. Should sports organizations make certain concessions for superstar players? It's a good one, man. Let's take a vote on this one. So we'll model it as this: sports organizations should make certain concessions for superstars players. So let's go with that. Let's count it down. 3, 2, 1.
Ah,
Oh, okay. I'm at a 4. Zeke's at a 3. Josh is at a 4. All
yep.
right. All right. Cool. Let's. Who did we start with last time? Zeke.
Started with me.
Started with Josh.
Josh. Go. Zeke. Let's start with you, man.
All right. Um, so I believe this question came about. We saw a story from Tracy McGrady, I believe it was, who was talking about the Orlando Magic.
Mm-hmm.
They went out and got Grant Hill to pair with him, and
Mm-hmm.
then they had a chance to go get Tim Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is Tim Duncan at the beginning of his prime. I think it was the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and his I think she was his wife at the time, wife or girlfriend,
Girlfriend, yeah.
Girlfriend.
asked about wives and girlfriends flying on the team plane. And Doc was like, "No, this is a business trip. We don't do that."
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers,
Let it be known.
he shut it down. And Timmy goes back to San Antonio and wins 4 more championships and has a stellar Hall of Fame career as arguably the best power forward of all time. And the Orlando Magic are the Orlando Magic. Um, I understand Tracy's frustration with that. Like if that was like the only thing that kept Tim Duncan from joining Orlando, then um I kind of get it. Like Tracy's looking at it like this man could have helped me win a ton of championships. Um, and all he wanted was his girlfriend on the plane. Make it happen, Doc. Make it happen. Like this is Tim freaking Duncan. This isn't some backup center. This is arguably the best, one of the top 5 players in the league at the time, and you got to make that happen. I say this, um, and I go back to a quote that Bill Parcells gave when he was questioned about how he's treating some of the players on the Cowboys. Um, Larry Allen had a blow up with him. Um, I can't remember what it was about. I read the article and I said I was going to remember, and then life was life in this week, so I forgot. But he had a blow up with Larry Allen, and it was like a public blowout, but Larry Allen was still starting on the team. He had issues with Antonio Bryant, who was our star receiver at the time. He wore number 88. If you know anything about the Cowboys, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
so he had issues with Antonio Bryant, and Antonio Bryant was still starting on the team. Quincy Carter, um, our quarterback at the time, was about to be, I believe, suspended for drug use, and he was immediately released from the team. Um, and some people question that, like, why do you give Larry Allen and Antonio Bryan all this leeway, but Quincy Carter runs into trouble and you want to kick him off the team? And Parcells' quote, I'm gonna paraphrase, was, "I treat all players fairly, but I don't treat them the same."
Mm.
Um, Meaning Larry Allen, Antonio Bryant, they're up here on the totem pole, so they're gonna get a little bit more leeway. They're gonna get certain concessions. They're gonna get a better level of treatment than what I would give a Quincy Carter, who might not have been at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm not gonna say he was at the bottom of the totem pole, but he wasn't as high as Larry Allen. He wasn't as high as Antonio Bryant and Bill Parcells' eyes. So when he ran into trouble, Bill was like, it ain't worth it, and got rid of him. And that was the first thing I thought of when I saw that story. Like I treat all players fair, but I don't treat them the same. Um, but in a situation like this where you got uh, young men who are concerned with wives and girlfriends coming on trips with them, set some kind of boundaries. Like, listen, we can allow this, but if you violate this list of rules, like you don't be a distraction, don't cause any trouble, don't do this, don't do that. Realize this is a business trip. So if you come in, he's here to play basketball. He's not here to wine and dine you and take you on tours around the city. You can handle that on your own. He's here to play ball. If you become a distraction, then you're gone. But at least give him a chance because I mean, this is stuff that's important. Well, okay, it was. I don't know about these days. You got Ant-Man running around paying people to leave him alone for the rest of his life. But I mean, Tim Duncan is known as a good, wholesome type dude. He seems like a family man. I really haven't kept up with him. Maybe Josh can give some insight, but Tim Duncan seemed like the type that his relationship outside of basketball was important.
Yep.
It was important enough for him to say, you know what, I'd rather stay in San Antonio, Texas, than go to Orlando or Florida. I hope it was worth it. I mean, obviously it was worth it
Oh
professionally
yeah, it
because
was
the man,
definitely worth it.
the man won four more championships and created a legacy that was is going to be hard to be surpassed.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, should they make concessions? It's a slippery slope. Um, I say like the biggest concession they're going to make is the contract that you get. Tim Duncan was probably the highest paid player on the Spurs for a long time.
Mhm.
And he earned that. He deserved that. That's a huge concession. Um, he's gonna be making tons more money than the sixth man or the 12th man on the bench. So everybody knows who the superstar is. You don't necessarily have to create a special set of rules. Now I know as veterans get older, they might be required to practice less or practice. They might be allowed to go a little less hard in practice if they need to, given more maintenance days instead of being out there grinding on the court. Certain concessions like that. But as far as like, oh, when we flying on the plane, you and your wife can fly first class because you signed a big contract, but the rest of y'all got to fly coach. That could be a toxic situation that you're setting up. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope. That's why I gave it a three because it's like I can see how I can make arguments for both ways. Like I really don't feel strongly either way. I just said you got to be careful and know who you got on your team because certain personalities they're not going to put up with that for too much longer. You got guys on the team that's like, you know what, I might be the eighth man on the roster, but I'm out here busting my butt and I can't talk to my family. I can't be around my family. This dude got his family here every day, and he's not hustling as hard in practice, and he still goes out and gets all the minutes. When I'm out here, I can do the same thing on the court. He can. You get professional athletes have that mentality, so you just gotta know who you're dealing with and who's on the court and who's on the team with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'll go next. So
Yeah,
for
I
me,
talked a lot. Next time, tell me to shut up, yo.
Nah, man, that's good insight.
yeah, it's good context, man. And so for me, like I feel like I was at a four, and I feel that yes, absolutely, concessions should be made when it comes to the star players on your team. Um, with that being said, though, I think it's up to the organization to set the boundaries and the standards of what those concessions are. You don't let you don't let the wives walk up and say, "We want to ride on the plane. We want to do this." You don't let the players say you don't let the players come up and say, uh, I want my wife to be able to do this. Now, in their case, they said, "Are the wives plural allowed to ride on the plane?" And for further context, um, you know, digging deeper into the story, so the San Antonio Spurs were already ahead of the game because they were allowing wives to fly on their plane on their team plane,
Yep.
and they were one of a few other teams that had already broken down those barriers and were letting that happen. And apparently, it was working out. I could see all kind of situations where that could go wrong from a standpoint of focus. The player not being able to be focused. Drama on the plane. Him and his wife. They get into it or whatever. It's having an effect on him and his relationship. His relationship with his teammates, coaches, whatever. Um, then you got the Ime Udoka factor where you have members on the staff that can't keep their eyes and their hands to themselves. You know what I'm saying? So then you got the possible drama of uh, other people like going at your wife or your significant other behind your back and stuff. That kind of stuff, man. There's just always a potential, like when you bring your home life to work like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, um, you know, uh, there's some situations where when after games when players are dressed or whatever, then families are allowed in the locker room. It can get kind of some of those rules can get kind of crazy, man. It's like, but at the level that they're at, how do you tell a star player like Tim Duncan no? How do you tell a Michael Jordan, hey Jordan, you can't have a room off to the side of the locker room away from the rest of the team where you get to change and kind of detox and get just from the game and get yourself mentally prepared to talk to the staff or go in there and gamble with your security detail on the side. You know what I'm saying? How do you if Michael Jordan is exception to the rule, because I mean, how do you tell Michael Jordan no, you can't have your own room away from the rest of the team, to do your thing? But I just think that I don't see a problem with the concessions. I just think that they need to be team guided, and I think anybody other than Doc Rivers should have been making that decision,
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like everything Doc Rivers touches since he stopped dribbling a basketball just turns to mush.
Yeah.
When he was a guard for the Hawks, he was exceptional, man. He was a special talent, and now with the coaching, man, like ever since he was with where did he win the ring?
Boston.
Boston, right? Did he
Yep.
win the ring with Boston?
Clippers.
Did he win that ring with Boston, or was that the other coach?
I believe that was Doc.
Was it Doc? Okay.
We gotta look
I,
at
I think you're right, man. But it seems like Doc's been involved with some questionable calls, man, as far as that's concerned. When I heard T Mac say, at the dinner, as soon as she asked the question, Doc jumped in and was like, "Oh no, this is a business trip." You know what I'm saying? That can't go on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think when you have a talent like Tim Duncan, if you could go around the league and look at the different teams and pick that one person, you know, for me, when it was when John Morant was hot, I would have been like, yeah, give John Morant whatever he wants. But John Morant could kick rocks, man. It's like he
With
hasn't
no
proven that
socks.
he hasn't proven that he's able to handle the little bit that they've given him, the little, you know what I'm saying, the little power that he's gotten in the short time that he's been in the NBA. What's he gonna do? Now, obviously, they're probably bending over backwards for John, giving him whatever he wants. But you can go down the line for each team and say, is Giannis getting this? You know what I'm saying? Is Luka getting this? We already know LeBron is getting it. You have to go, if you go down the line and look at the teams and say, who on this team are they going to give special concessions to, or have they been given special concessions to? You know what happens, man. You absolutely know what happens. All the way to the NFL. There's some wild stories about Russell Wilson and all his special, treatment that he got. Um, from their coach. When I mean the coach was telling players, yeah, don't chastise him. Don't what was the word that they used, man? They were like basically telling them not to go at him when he makes mistakes.
Hmm.
And that's crazy. That goes back to knowing who you're dealing with. Because you talking about the Legion of Boom.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
you telling them
Some
not to
killers, man.
criticize the quarterback.
Yeah,
You guys, you had some personalities on that defense.
yeah, man. I mean, oh my gosh, man. Don't even get me started. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like we already know it happens. It's happening. Um, I just feel like it can go on. The special concessions can go on, but they have to be tempered. And front offices need to be prepared to handle those questions when it comes time, when they get asked those questions. They need to be ready to say, okay, what happens when the wives ask if they can get on the plane? What do we do? Well, you know what you do? Maybe you have your starting five. Your starting five and your veteran players. They're allowed to have their wives. Um, and then you designate a special area in the plane for that. You know what I'm saying? You set up your charter plane for a family section. You know what I'm saying? And then the player section. It's not that you can't do it. It's just that you have to be creative about it. If you don't want to do it, you have to give the impression that even if you're not happy with it, you have to give the impression that, yeah, we were thinking about that. We're glad that you brought that up. You feel what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
then you go behind closed doors and say, man, this is bananas. Do we really want to do this? And then, but you really parse it out and you really think about it. And you consider doing that, especially for your elite players and maybe your veteran players.
Yeah,
So, that's my take on it. Josh, where you at, man?
absolutely. I'm not gonna sit here and beat a dead horse. You guys have been basically stating everything that I feel. I gave this a 4 because originally I wanted to when you guys decided on this as a topic, I wanted to give this like a 1 because I I really dislike the cons when it comes to making concessions for superstar players. But after like literally just thinking about this and contemplating my real answer, that's just how the world works, man. It honestly does in all ways. Like people who are profitable, people who will add value to an organization, people whose track records prove their ability to lead and to meet goals, they get the superstar treatment. And that just happens in all walks of life, honestly. And is it fair? I guess one can argue, well, if you want to be that, then work harder. Um, but I gave this a 4 because like I don't want it to be a 5. I don't feel that any concession should just be made just because you're a superstar, like you guys have said. Like I really think the organizations need to toe that fine line and not and be cautious in what concessions they make and do it in a way that does not um counter create counterproductive moments in the locker room, on the field, on the court, whatever it may be, in the media, right? You have to do it with guidelines so that you don't go against your core values and core beliefs, but you 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 do it so that you can add stock to your organization. And to be honest, some of these teams that have gone on serious droughts need probably to consider this the most. Like they really need to get those superstar players in there, and they really need to allow them to shine and make their organization uh, better. Honestly, so I'm on a 4. Right, I could have been a 3. I didn't want to be the quintessential guy that throws up the threes on the most part. So I gave this a 4 because I do see that there is value to making concessions, especially in the discussion we had on the whole Tim Duncan topic. The Magic messed up big time,
Yeah.
big time. They dropped the ball. Um, There could have been 4 rings in Orlando. Instead, it's with my Spurs. So I'm grateful to Popovich for being the man. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Man, that could have been a nasty big three, man.
Yeah.
McGrady, Hill, and Duncan.
Big time. Yeah,
Come on,
it's
man.
like you just never know, bro.
You
You
don't.
never
You really
know.
don't, man. But that's the beautiful part about the what if game, man. You know what I'm saying? Like what if Jordan never stepped away to play baseball? You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
What
Eight
if
straight. They ain't know
what if
what if. We know what would have happened.
yeah. What if Jerry Krause, wasn't such a jerk and didn't have walking CTE from literally doing nothing?
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's
But what if
crazy.
Kobe did go to the Bulls?
Right.
Dang, bro. Yeah.
We
That's
never know.
that's just crazy, man.
What if Shaq stayed with Penny?
Yep.
We could
That's
do
a
this
good
all
one.
night.
Big
Yeah,
time.
we could. So we had a comment from Rebellion Watch.
Nah, we're not gonna look.
I feel like I
That's
feel like
that's
why
your
do I
boy.
feel like that's the PZ's doppelganger?
That's your boy. I'm texting him right now. So Peasy,
This
I
You
guy
see you see what he said about you though, Z?
I see what. Look, when I first saw it, I was like, "Yo,
gotta be.
there's not too many bold people like that. Like he's just being rude for no reason."
No.
So yeah, I'm gonna find you, Doc. I know where you live. I know where you live.
I know
I
where
have
you're
your
listening
address in
to
my
me.
map. I know where you live. So you ain't nothing but a ride away, pimp.
Oh my god, that's too funny, bro.
Oh man. All right. Let's go real quick. Why don't we jump into it happened today and then we'll go into our third topic.
Absolutely. It happened today. So I got a couple of these to pop up here. I'm gonna let you guys run with it because we had a pretty, our next topic is gonna be a little bit about MLB. You guys got some topics to discuss.
Yes,
You're all
sir.
about the MLB head, so I'm gonna let you guys talk about these two things and what's so historic about them. So number one,
Go ahead, Dave. This your boy.
Ruth contract. This is in the wheelhouse of our number one Yankees fan
All
here on
right.
Sportscast. Take it, Dave.
All right. So 1914, Boston Red Sox purchased future baseball Hall of Fame slugger Babe Ruth's contract from minor league Baltimore Orioles. Minor league, huh? That's crazy
Yeah,
that
they were in the minors at the time, man.
yeah. So we all know what happened with this man. This is the man right here that Shohei Ohtani fans like to say played against plumbers and farmers and stuff like that, completely discrediting what this man brought to the table. Multiple 20-game winner as a pitcher. Um, I mean, it's Babe freaking Ruth, man. What are we doing here, man?
Yes, sir.
The disrespect that has been put on this man. If you want to call Babe Ruth a drunk, a womanizer, and all that stuff, I'd be hard pressed to argue with you. All right, but at the end of the day, the Sultan of SWAT. Come on, man.
The
It's like
pain.
what are we doing, man?
The great Bambino.
What are we doing? Let me ask you, bro. Let me tell you this. I don't know if y'all knew this, but when they were building the new Yankee Stadium, there was a construction worker that was going around bragging about how he was a Boston fan, he was a Red Sox fan. He was bragging about how they were pouring concrete footers, and he was bragging about how he buried a David Ortiz jersey in the concrete in one of the footers at the new
Mhm.
stadium. They, after they fired this dude, sent this dude packing. And he was a union dude, so in New York City, a union guy get sent packing. That's an anomaly in its own right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
They
right.
they spent thousands of dollars in days digging up this footer, bro, to find that Ortiz jersey so they could get it out of there, because
Wow.
they didn't want that legend living on that there was an Ortiz jersey buried somewhere at that stadium, right?
Wow.
And it's crazy to me, man. It's like, you know, the Red Sox Yankee rivalry to me it's not what it used to be. Although
It's not.
it can go there quickly, but it's like it's not even a smolder right now.
Mm.
But Boston fans, you will never really hear Boston fans disrespecting Babe Ruth and talking about he played against farmers and whatnot, man, and plumbers and all that. You won't hear them say that because they know how long their curse went on because they gave him up, and
Mhm.
they know it was real, and they saw what he did afterwards. They knew everything all of his accomplishments were real. He was a real deal, man. So I just, I used to get frustrated listening to people talk about Otani and, there's not going to be anybody like him. It's like, Babe Ruth couldn't, you guys. And so here's another thing, too. You got people out here, David Justice and all of them talking about how Babe Ruth isn't this and isn't that. This fool played for the Yankees. And he's, for him to disrespect Babe Ruth that way,
That's-
it's just amazing. It blows my mind, man. But all real ones know what George Herman Ruth brought to the game of baseball and brought to the New York Yankees.
Yes, sir.
How many years did Boston go without a championship because of the curse? 80,
Too
82
many.
years. 80. I think it was 82 years, bro.
It was bad.
Yeah,
Wild.
It was bad.
It's a long time.
it
Like
is.
I got a special spot in my heart for Babe Ruth because he ended his career as a Brave. So I went to when I went to see the stadium back in 19. They actually have some of his memorabilia in
Oh,
the
did they?
yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah.
But you know what? I don't want to. I don't want to go away without. We're gonna get to that one too. I don't want to switch topics without shouting Boston out because they're having a pretty good year this year. All things considered.
Mhm.
I told you guys. I told you guys last year, right when we were just talking, just as friends, that everybody need to watch out for Boston, man, and their farm team. They got a farm team. And then
Mm.
I
Yeah.
picked them this year to go to the World Series.
Wow.
They were my AL pick. If we rewind it back and look, I picked them to go to the World Series. If people aren't careful, they're gonna let the Red Sox sneak up on them, man, and get
Yeesh.
because
That'd
their
be,
farm team is sick. And
that'd be
Zeke, we going to see a game tomorrow night, man.
Shh. I'm
Yeah, man, we gotta listen,
yeah.
man. Listen, man.
Look, man,
I'll get you out the doghouse. Daddy, don't worry,
that's your daughter, so you talk to
man. Listen, it's all good, man. You know what's she gonna do, man?
her. Okay.
What's she gonna do?
if you're watching, just close your ears.
She not
Right.
even watching, bro. She not even watching. But you know what? It's on her for scheduling something when I had made plans with my boys. So what are we gonna do? Let's just roll with it.
Life,
And
lives.
they said this is all Dave talking. I ain't got nothing to do with Zeke. I ain't say a word.
It's all good, man. I got you. So anyhow,
Okay.
let's jump back into this, man.
Yep.
So
Satchel.
we rolling with two things, huh?
Two.
All right.
Two.
I'm gonna push it along then. In 1948, Satchel Paige, age 42, debuts in the majors, pitching two scoreless innings for Cleveland and St. Louis. Were they the Indians back then?
Yeah.
No. Wait, were they?
I don't think so. Cleveland was.
Cleveland.
I don't
Was it
know.
the
Let's
was it
look.
the Browns?
I
I
don't
think
know because at one point didn't the baseball team and the football team share a name? I thought they did.
oh wait, 48. It was the Indians. Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It was the St. Louis Browns. That's what we went to
St.
next,
Louis
but it was
Browns.
the Cleveland
Yep.
Indians.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Got you. All right. Shout
Another
out.
another cool brave story about Satchel Paige. Um, he was at the end of his career and he was just short of being on the major league roster long enough to have a pension. So at 62 years old, they signed him to the active roster. He didn't have to pitch. He just had to show up and pretty much be a bench coach on the active roster, and they kept him on there long enough for him to get his pension. So
Yeah. I was
that's
just about
another
to say
guy
he
with
was 62 years old, man. It was 20 years from his
62
debut.
years old.
Bro,
Crazy.
that's insane. Like for me, when I read this, I was like, my man he debuted in the majors at 42 years old.
It was banging too, man.
And he like that wasn't like a one-hitter quitter. He pitched for a
Yeah,
while.
That's
banging.
nuts. So let me ask you guys this question just to stay in the spirit of 42 year olds that debut. Who is the oldest player to start an MLB game?
I want to say, all right, it's probably gonna be some dude from the black and white days.
Wait,
But
who was what?
the oldest player to start an MLB
Oldest
game,
player to start in an MLB game.
what's his name? Julio Franco.
No.
Dang.
Was
Jamie
it a
Moyer,
Negro League player?
What's that?
Phil
Was it a
Necro,
Negro League
Charlie
player?
Huff.
Man, I can't even tell you to be this honest. To be that honest,
Just give us the name,
I'll
Pimp.
give
We
you
ain't
the
gonna get it.
year. I'll give you the year. 1904.
Next. What the heck, bruh? Josh, after I'm done fighting Peasy, I'm gonna fight you.
I'll give you the team. New York Giants.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
It was Jim O'Rourke.
Yep, never heard of him.
He was
How old was?
54 years old, and he started. He
There's hope for BZ.
he
Hey,
played
man,
catcher and
dust them cleats off, Pimp.
he played catcher and went 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored in
What?
the game. At 54.
Playing catcher at 54 years old is diabolical.
Yeah,
Pretty
man, that's
wild.
ridiculous, man.
He had to deal with the devil for them knees, man.
That's bananas, man. That was man. It's all good.
Mhm.
Oh man, what is this, man? What is PZ talking about here, man?
This was big though. This just came through a little while
Okay,
ago.
but can he get out the comments? I was gonna mention that in the roundup. Peasy, you got your family down there, man. Go be with your family.
That's why he's
If you
saying
was gonna,
rebellion.
if you was gonna do all of this, you could have showed up on screen, Pimp.
That's why his name is Rebellion Watch because he's rebelling against his family right now on
I'm
vacation.
about I'm about to text Jotty so she can rebelliously pop him upside the head.
Woo!
Oh, don't get him in trouble.
Oh yeah. Zeke ain't got no neck. Watch this.
Oh, yeah, that's tight, man.
That's funny. All
All
right,
right, man.
we got to roll with this other topic here.
Let's
Let's
get
do
it,
it.
man.
Bang, boom.
All right. So the halfway mark. So with the MLB All-Star Game approaching, what has surprised you most this season? Actually, I said it right the first time. What has you most surprised this season? So let's go with that.
It's all you guys right here.
Come on, man. It's got to be something in here. Zeke, you start off, man.
Zeke, start us off.
Look, I'm gonna avoid the obvious, especially since you know who is watching. Um, I think what surprised me the most, like how well the A's are doing. Like, I mean, outside of beating up on my team last night, they're being a lot more productive than I think a lot of people gave them credit for. Like, this is a team who um doesn't have a home. They're playing in a minor league stadium in Sacramento, and they're putting out a competitive team with a lot of young stars. Um, I think if they can get some solid pitching, um, they could be a force to deal with within the next 3 or 4 years. So the success of the A's, um, the Blue Jays, what the heck? They're leading the AL East right now. That's crazy. Um, I think
Not
the
anymore.
biggest thing is how much the Dodgers, and I say struggling. I mean they're leading their division right now, but I mean, what the heck? They just lost 6 straight games. They just got swept by the Brewers. Um, this today actually this afternoon the Brewers completed a sweep. Um, the they just got ravaged with injuries. So it's like all those free agent moves that they made in the offseason, none of those dudes have been playing consistently because they're all been hurt. So I don't know, man. They still have time to turn it around. Like I said, it's not like they're, I don't know, 12 games under 500 like some team in Atlanta, but they yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see if they can stay healthy. They just lost Max Muncy. He just started swinging the bat real good, and somebody slid into his knee, and it bent in a way that it shouldn't have bent. So they said it's not as bad as it looked initially, but he's gonna be out for like 6 to 8 weeks. So
Yep.
um, we'll see. We'll
That's a
see if they
long
can.
time, man.
That is a long time. I mean, you're talking 2 months. We're already in July. He's not coming back till September, and that's before he. That's just before he can start activities. He's got to
Yep.
ramp it up. You just can't come off for a 2 month layup and just be inserted in the lineup and ball. You got to rehab, so he's gonna miss a significant amount of time. But um, yeah, my Braves. I didn't kind of saw the writing on the wall last year. It's almost like I wonder what Alex Anthopoulos did to get that World Series in 2021. Because I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seems like we've lost pillar after pillar ever since then, and then like we had that All Star that breakout season in 2023. That was just 2 years ago when Ronald Acuna went 40 and 70, and Matt Olson was hitting 54 home runs, and everybody was having a career year. And I mean, it's just like you got to balance it out somehow because now everybody sucks. Nobody cared a baseball in a key situation, and all of our pitchers are getting hurt. And we just brought back Jesse Chavez. We dug him up out of the grave and put him on the mound last night. So I don't know, man.
Let me ask you this, Zeke. Does Snit make it, like, does he make it through the season? Or
I
do they bring him back next year?
I I think he makes it through the season. I don't see them firing him in the middle of the season because of his legacy. He's a Braves lifer, man. He's been in the organization for years, and he was Hank's guy. So I think on the strength of that, he makes it through the season. Whether they decide not to bring him back or he decides to retire, I think this might be his last year. Just
Mm.
because I look at him in the dugout, sometimes he just looks lost. He looks tired. And I keep thinking about this. I don't know if I've had this discussion with you guys, but like everybody talks about when we lost Freddie and when we lost Dansby Swanson. Look, we lost Ron Washington. We lost Eric Young Sr. We lost Kevin Seitzer last year. He was our hitting coach. Um, and they used him as a scapegoat for the team not performing at the plate last year. He goes out to Seattle, and you got Cal Raleigh. How many home runs is he at now? Like 35, 37, something goofy like that.
36. He hit 36 last night in Yankee Stadium.
Cal Raleigh has 36 home runs before the All Star break,
He had
and he's
35
not
all
batting
last year.
212.
Huh?
I said he's not batting 212 either. He's actually got a respectable batting average this year. He's mashing the ball. Randy Rosarena is hitting the ball again. Julio Rodriguez just made the All Star team again. He's hitting the ball again. We lose these coaches, and like I know we have the manager, but these coaches have relationships with the players that you just can't rip these guys out of here and expect these players not to be affected by it. Like we watched when the Braves were having fun. I keep going back to 2023. They were having fun. You had Wash out there at third base. You had EY at first base coaching these guys up with the base running. Wash was out there before every game with the infield drills.
Yep.
Kevin Seitzer had his boys mashing the ball, hitting the ball like crazy. We set the record, I believe, for home runs in the season. If we didn't set the record, we were close. 2023 was fun. 23 was not that long ago, but it seems like forever ago because what I'm seeing now, and as I say that, I get a notification that Drake Baldwin just hit a home run. So I'm bashing my boys and they're out there balling now. But yeah, I mean,
Bash and Zeke, it's working for you.
yeah, let's keep going. They suck. Boo, boo. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I could go on, and I don't want to because I see I feel myself rambling. But My Braves, man. If I'm gonna be honest, that's what has me the most surprised. I was trying not to go there, but that's what it is.
So you
Definitely.
guys led MLB in 2023. You guys led MLB with home runs, 307, man.
Hmm.
307 home runs. You beat out the
Yeah,
Yankees.
and I don't even think we have 100 yet.
Dang.
Wow, bro.
It's
Yeah. So
rough.
for me, um, the biggest surprise for me this season, I'm gonna be honest, man, has been the injuries, bro. Um, Tommy John has been just like it's just been like devastating the league, man. I don't know what's going on with. I mean, I do. I know what's going on. If it's not coaching staffs taking injuries seriously, like my Yankees just did with Clark Schmidt. A man was complaining 3 weeks ago about forearm tightness or whatever, and he did a little stint on the IL, and they brought him back, and he still wasn't feeling right. Um, and he ends up he's got a tear, and so now he's got to have Tommy John. We got Lighter was pitching on a broken leg, bro. This dude's been
Crazy.
pitching on a broken leg for the last 2 weeks. Didn't even know his leg was broke. Like how? What are these
Crazy.
staff? What is our staff doing where they're constantly missing these injuries? With Gary Cole, they let Gary Cole go last season. You know, he's pitching, and he ends up needing Tommy John this offseason, man. It's like you go from Cy Young to Tommy John. You know, and I know what's going on, man. It's like if it's not the medical staff, it's these guys, everybody and their mother trying to throw 105. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just pitching, everybody wants to throw as hard as you can, and it's what do you get out of that besides bad arms? So for me, it's been I'm not I'm not surprised that the Dodgers have had as many injuries as they have because if you really look at the guys that they kind of have a history of having some issues, and I feel like they're playing with fire. Um, when it comes to Otani, man, it's like I don't know what I just don't get what the desire is to continue to make this man a two-way player. We know he can do it. He's done it. He's been elite at doing it. Keep him at DH and let him do his thing and continue to be the player that he is. Why? Why are they got they got 1 foot on a banana peel, bro, and the other is pointing at Tommy John with this dude. Like I don't get it. Why?
They got him on the mound now because they've already wasted $170 million a year with him just being a DH. They paid him to do both. They paid him that money to do both, and so far they've gotten a handful of innings out of him on the mound. So they're probably trying to get something. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like, let him take the whole year off. You don't need him. It's obvious you don't need him on the mound
You don't, man.
because you're leading the division without him pitching like that. So even if you wanted to just wait until like the postseason and use him as like a closer or something, he'd be a killer closer because
Yeah.
his stuff is just nasty. That's what we were talking about the other day. Like an elite fastball. Like these dudes want to go out there and throw 103, 104, 105 miles an hour 50, 60 times a game. Like you can't do that as a starter. Like you don't need it. Your repertoire, you should be able to have 97, 98 in your pocket when you need it. Like Chris Sale, his best pitch is his 79-mile-an-hour slider. But when he needs to, he can reach back and give you 97, 98.
Right.
And that's why I mean he had a rough start to the year, but I mean the man between last year and this year, his success comes when he mixes in all these different. He's got the slider, he's got the changeup, and he's got his fastball that he can throw at 90. But if he needs 97, 98, he's got that in his pocket too. Like you gotta learn how to pitch. You just can't throw.
Nah, you can't. And to your point though, man, it's like I'm sure, yes, they paid him whatever they paid him. You know what I'm saying to pitch, and he hasn't been pitching. But here's the thing: he's been doing his thing with the bat. And we saw in the World Series the fluke injuries, the things that can happen, man. Right? Him just like sliding into second
Slide
base,
into
man,
second base, jamming his shoulder.
jammed his shoulder. Right? You put him on the mound. Now listen, as much junk as I talk about Otani, the last thing I want to do is see the dude hurt because I feel he's good for the game. He brings a lot of eyeballs to the game. It's just like I always say, it's the glazing from people like Greg Amsinger over at MLB Network. I just can't take it, man. It's
He
just
loves
way too
Otani.
much. No man should fawn over another man as much as that dude does. And for me, that's the part that drives me nuts. But you put Otani on the mound, man. He's vulnerable. Like Shohei Otani takes a line drive to the head, and then what? What? You feel what I'm saying? They're worried about saying, "Oh, we pay him to pitch. We're paying him 70, blah blah blah." Whatever, man. You paying him a lot of money. I get it. But nobody put a gun to your head and made you pay him that money. And if you that doesn't also mean that just because you have somebody you pay somebody to go diving for pearls for oysters with pearls in them for you. That doesn't mean you take them out in the shark infested water and go dive. So what happens when they don't come back up?
Mm.
Your investment's gone, man. You're paying this person to bring back oysters. You know what I'm saying? Why would you put them in a situation where they're probably not gonna bring oysters back? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So they're putting this dude out on the mound, man. And I get it, he's got good stuff, but pitchers are so vulnerable, man, and they're so exposed
Yeah.
out there on the mound. All it takes, man, one line drive, one comebacker, man, that he doesn't put his glove up to stop, and boom, and then what? For
Or
what?
like my man Griffin Canning stepping off the mound the wrong way, popped his Achilles.
That's what I'm saying, man.
wild.
It's bananas to me, man. So I don't get it. I really don't get the. I just don't get this lust fest with having Otani on the mound. I just really don't, man. He's got nothing really to prove by going out on the mound. I don't. What's the most games Otani is won pitching? 12.
I mean, yeah, it's double. But I mean, okay, again, you really can't count wins for a pitcher who's playing in for the Angels.
I mean, okay, right. I see.
I mean, it's hard to win games
Yeah.
playing for the Angels.
So how many does he have? Is they brought him over to the Dodgers to pitch? How many wins does he have as a Dodger?
Oh, he hasn't. He didn't pitch at all last year, and he didn't. He's pitched like 1, 2 innings a game this year, so he hasn't even qualified for a win this year.
Right,
Jeez.
right. So is that investment paying off?
I mean, they won a World Series last year. So
Yeah,
he
I mean,
went he
that's a
went
good.
he had 50-50 last year.
Right. So let's talk about the business side of it, though. They're paying him to do both. They got the World Series, yes, but the return on the Otani investment, do you feel like they're satisfied with that return?
Absolutely, because I mean,
Then why
you
put him
signed
out there?
Shohei Ohtani, you signed Japan.
I feel
So
you. Then why put him out there then? If you're happy with that return of having the World Series without him pitching, why put him out there, man? Just don't do it. You
I
know?
feel you. I feel you.
yeah.
I don't know. So, all right, man. I think I've wait a minute. Josh, did you have something on that?
No, but all
You
I'm
know, Josh didn't have
you
nothing
know
on this
me.
one.
I want to
I,
give him a
I
shot,
don't really
man.
got much, but what I will say is like when I follow the highlight, yep, 3 right here, MLB 3 MLB. When I follow like MLB stuff, it's more so highlights of like of plays and amazing things. So I'm not gonna say more so surprised this season, but this has caught my attention. This dude out in the outfield for the Athletics,
Oh,
he's
Denzel
Denzel Clark,
that
Clark.
man is a walking highlight. Like
bruh.
some of these catches, like
What do you
it's
have like 3, 4 straight weeks of the play of the week?
straight weeks play of the week. And so I was reading some of the comments in like these threads, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Denzel Clark is going to make a great Yankee or Boston Red Sox."
Did you show his clip, Josh? Do you have his clip?
Yeah, can you see it right now up above?
Nah, I
No,
can't.
Oh,
I
you
don't
can't
see it.
see it? Oh, wait, sorry. Sorry, it is not. Why is it not? It's working for me. Hang on.
If we can't get it on the stream, we'll throw it on the Facebook page. Go like and subscribe to Facebook. Oh dang, Josh got it. Never mind.
Is it working now?
Yeah,
Boom.
and that's like reckless abandon. Like the man knows he's about to get a one-on-one meeting with the wall,
With the wall,
and
exactly.
this one is crazy.
Right here is
Bro,
ridiculous.
the
This one is
swing,
crazy.
that right there, just control over the body, bro. To be able to like, even the pitcher knows, like, no, bro.
And he's looking like, bruh, come on.
Yeah.
Who does he remind you of, Zeke?
Dang.
I would say Torrey Hunter.
I promise you I was about to say Torrey Hunter. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my man going to get that home run off Barry Bonds in the All-Star game.
All-Star game.
And,
Yeah,
and Barry gave him that bear hug. Torrey Hunter, yeah.
Torrey.
That's just freak athleticism. And like to give up his body like that, knowing he's running full speed and all he's worried about is catch the ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he held on. Like if I hit the wall like that,
Rap, bro. Night,
That
night.
ball, that ball's gonna be
come get me.
yeah, for sure.
Yo,
God.
Either that or
man,
yeah,
that's
because
ridiculous, bro.
people see those pads and it's like, oh, it's padded. Yo, those
Yes.
pads have no give.
No.
That pad
Like-
is protecting usually concrete or something.
Right.
It's nuts, man. But that's what I would say. That man's balling. He deserves whatever contract is coming his way because he's earned it.
He's got to get the bat. I mean, these days you got to be able to hit. They're
Yeah.
not gonna. They don't pay defenders like they used to. Like you're not gonna see the likes of a Ozzie Smith getting into the Hall of Fame based on his defense.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's good to
So-
see a story like his, man, when you have like you have like the Jack Caglione and Roman Anthony, those are the guys you expect them to do it, but when a guy like him, when Denzel Clark comes out of nowhere, man, and he's doing stuff like that, it's amazing. It's just good
And
to see.
he was
And the
just
rookies
called
are
up,
balling
right?
this year. I have to give it to him.
Yeah, he was just called up, right? Like you guys said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rookie this year.
Wow.
I just hope with this move, like the A's, like aren't afraid to pay their players, because like if the bat does come around and he still provides that elite defense, you're right. Who is he going to be? A Yankee? Is he going to be a Red Sox? Is he going to be a Dodger? Where is he going? Because they're already talking about where Skeens is going to go.
Now,
Which is so dumb, man. It's
now
so
you gotta ask the question though. Like now that the A's are gonna be moving to Sports City, USA,
Yeah,
what does that mean for the organization?
It means that they're gonna have to start spending money and they're gonna have to start signing cats to long-term contracts because with all the options on the strip in Vegas, you got UFC for real. Now UFC comes around ever so often, but they can still have fight night. They got the Raiders out there now.
Raiders.
They have options. There's a lot of stuff going on. When the Raiders aren't playing, you always have the strip. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
They got the Sphere now, they got concerts going there. UFC is about to have the first and only UFC fight at the Sphere, which is supposed to be like bananas. Dana White said they're only going to do it once and once only.
Mm-hmm.
You got to compete with stuff like that, man. It's like literally like you're going to a city that has
Everything.
multiple 3-ring circuses. What is your circus bringing to town? So if they're gonna have this beautiful stadium, I know exactly where it's going. It's a perfect location, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to do something, man. They're gonna have to start spending money. The owner's got to spend money, man. If he doesn't, it's a wrap. They'll probably end up taking the team from him.
Yeah.
Look, he's got a nice foundation. He got a nice young core. You got Soderstrom, Rooker, Kurtz, Bangaliers. He was our catcher. We let him go. We got Clark in the outfield. They got Jack Wilson. They got a nice team. They out there balling. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. He's
all right.
Gotta invest in your squad, man.
Got to, man. That's the name of the game. It's the name of the game, man. All right, fellas. So we did it happened today.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and kick it with the weekly roundup, and we'll wrap it up from there.
Sir. Sir. Here we go.
Oh man. Okay, what we kicking off with? So, oh
Cancer got mossed.
yeah, man.
Yes, dude. That's how we should have labeled it.
We should have, man.
Yeah, y'all
Randy
didn't have
Moss is
to.
coming back, man. It's so good to see him coming back, man. Moss is everything, man. I
Yeah.
like that dude so much, man. Man. I wish Moss didn't get a ring, did he? He didn't get a ring with Brady, did he?
Nope, nope. He got
No.
Eli Manning. That was the 18-1 team.
Got
Yeah.
me.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
But he got that HOF ring. But it's
Right.
Yep. For sure.
so but yeah, so shout out to Randy Moss, man.
Yeah.
I literally as a cancer survivor myself, man, I literally been praying for that man, and I just um everybody goes through something different through their walk with cancer severities. The severity of it varies. Myself, I dealt with bladder cancer, and as a matter of fact, this just July 5th, um, I'm 3 years
Wow.
cancer free. So
Praise God.
it's a big deal, man. Like I just
Mhm.
I look at people that are dealing with battles that were far worse than mine, man, far worse.
Yeah.
And all you can do is just keep them in prayer, man, and just if you know them, if you're friends with them, ride it out with them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. All right, Paul Pierce appears to have walking CTE again. He probably never got rid of it before. This
Just
guy, oh my gosh, Zeke, you want to run with this man?
no, because every time I think about Paul Pierce, man,
All right,
I don't
Take,
know what's up with him,
take
man.
that image.
I don't get it. It's like it's like the kid who didn't get loved enough as a child, and now he's just looking for some kind of affection and attention. Like, dude, your nickname was the truth. When you
Yeah.
were in the league, you got mad respect. But at the end of the day, you got one ring, and there were players in the league that were better than you. Get over it. You one of the top, but you're not the top. Get over yourself,
Can't even
dude.
argue one of the top. I mean, like that video that I sent to you guys with like him putting himself over
He
dudes like
literally said he was the
Kobe.
best pure score.
this dude said he was the best pure shooter in NBA
No,
history, man.
not pure shooter, pure scorer.
Scorer,
Your
pure scorer.
score.
And
Yeah.
I'm looking at the list now.
Okay, give it to us,
He
man.
he said he was better than Jordan. He said he was better than Allen Iverson. He
Yeah.
said he was better than Kevin Durant. I mean, at least he said that was close, but he
Right.
gave himself he said he's a better pure scorer than Steph.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah,
Tracy
he said
McGrady, James Harden.
he was better in the post, and there was a big man they named, and he said, "Yeah, I'm better in the I was better in
Yeah,
the post move."
yeah,
Unbelievable.
Paul. Some
So
people don't.
do you guys really think that he really believes this stuff, or do you think that maybe he's doing this for clicks, like he's doing this for likes, for views?
I mean, if it's just reviews, he's been at it for a long time because this is the same dude that sat on the stage at the desk with Jalen Rose and said he was better than Dwayne Wade, and they came back from commercial break, and Jalen Rose and his hype man Michelle Beadle just crushed that whole dream
Yeah.
and had Paul Pierce on TV looking sick.
Yeah,
Yep.
Like, dang, how come you don't love me, man? Like at the end of Fresh Prince, when Will was wondering how come his man, nah,
listen, man. I think
come
the
on.
Inky is way too sticky, man, and Paul need to stay away from it, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Kevin Garnett need to sit that man down and have a heart to heart with him because KG is raw with it.
Very
Yeah,
much.
So yeah, KG need to sit with him. Rondo, just sit your boy down and let him know. Look,
Yeah.
you were
We got our
dope.
Ray
You
Allen.
were you were dope, but chill on these
Yeah.
comparisons because you're making yourself look bad.
Yeah. Big time.
all right, so let's go to our last topic here with with Tom Brady, man. So this one, um, I had seen this one already, but then who sent this over? Was it you,
I did.
Josh?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So Tom Brady was I can't remember what he was being interviewed for. I don't know if it was for the Fanatics Fest or what. I think it was a Fanatics Fest panel. But he said that there were no smiley faces with Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Kobe, or himself when it came to winning.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on to emphasize that how can you have killer instinct? How can you go for the jugular if you're going out to dinner with your opponent?
Yeah.
After the game or the night before the game or the night after the game.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to be that finisher? How are you able to thrive for excellence and taking your opponent out when you have that kind of mentality? And
Yeah.
so he said for him and those greats that he named, he said there were no smiley faces. He literally was like, Tiger Woods didn't have any friends. You know what I'm saying? He
Yep.
wasn't friends with anybody on the tour.
Yeah.
And look at where it got him.
Absolutely. Yeah, he even brought up the whole Peyton Manning. He was like, he said it right there in the interview. He was like, man, I honestly looked up at Peyton. He was like, I respected Peyton Manning's game a lot. He was like, he was doing things out on the field that I even would put into my own play style, right?
Yeah.
And so he's showing like he's giving mad respect, but then he's like, I went out to dinner with him maybe twice in my whole career.
Since he's known him, yep. And he says
Exactly.
he it's not because he didn't want to. He just was like,
Yeah.
that's not what they did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he couldn't see him as a friend. He had to see him as a foe in all ways of life while he's playing.
What do you say? You can't have that mentality to want to crush your opponents if you're friends with them.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yep.
Tiger was notorious for that, man. It kind of goes back. I mean, that's what I was talking about a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Rory and Bryson DeChambeau.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was complaining because Rory didn't talk to him. I'm like, well, Rory grew up watching Tiger,
Yeah.
and
Right.
Tiger did the same thing. So what do you expect?
Yeah. And then it brought up the whole point too. Like we were, I don't remember. Did we see the clip of Kobe Bryant in the Olympics when
Yes.
Yes,
Pau
he
when he
Gasol.
ran through Pau Gasol.
Yeah, and like Kobe, they had like some talking of LeBron and a
It
couple
was
other guys, and
LeBron
they
and
were
D
like,
Wade
"Yo,
and Chris Bosh.
yep." He said, first play of the game, I'm gonna run straight through Pau Gasol, and I'm gonna set the tone for this. And
Yep.
everybody didn't take him serious. Then he did it, and they were like, "Yo, this dude really did it." And
Yep. And Pau Gasol was his brother. Like they weren't best friends. That was his brother.
bro, they were brothers for real.
This wasn't Michael and Scotty teammates winning championships. They were brothers on and off the court.
Straight up, yeah, for
But
sure.
he had the wrong uniform on that thing. So
Yep,
you know.
absolutely playing for the wrong country.
Hey, before we get out of here and Josh pushes the button, I'm just gonna give a shout out to the WNBA Player of the Month for the month of June, Angel Reese.
You did
I-
not.
yes, I did.
You
Yes, I
did
did.
not.
Yes, I did. Yes,
I
I
want to
did.
hear it.
Player of the month, averaging a double double. The only player in the league averaging, and everybody gonna scream, "Oh, it's the me bounds! Oh, it's the me bounds!" You take away the quote unquote me bounds, and she's still leading the league in rebounds. So yeah, shout out to Angel. I'm gonna do it every week.
This is
I
the
don't. I
same.
don't.
This
Hey,
is
we want to thank y'all for being with us.
Hey, let's wrap it up. It's
This
past
is
my
the
bedtime, but
same.
shout out
This
to
is
Angel.
the same Angel that was just saying that it's rigged.
Yeah, she did. She was
What
upset.
the Have you seen the calls that she hasn't been getting?
I have. I
Uh,
listen. She has.
Dave,
Listen.
what
She
you
got
think?
an argument, man.
Whole lot of contact, and the referee's just swallowing the whistle.
Yeah.
You got a game where the Minnesota had what 3 times as many free throws as the Sky did, but you look at the play and she's getting hugged and grabbed, and they showed one shot where she got fouled 3 times by 2 players, and the ref didn't call nothing. So she might have a point. I don't know.
Y'all call me when Cardoza is back. Isn't she hurt?
She
Cardoza?
just got back. She
Did
wasn't
she?
hurt. She was playing for Brazil.
Oh,
And
okay.
I gotta check because last time I checked the stats, it was halftime and Angel was like had like 6 points and 4 rebounds. And I'm like, yo, when Camilla was gone, Angel was balling. So
Yeah.
maybe it's time to get rid of Camilla. I don't know.
Camilla is like, man, she like the female
She's
Shaq.
a she's a beast. Six
My
seven, bruh.
goodness, man.
insane
bruh.
to be
I
built
was
like
like,
Yeah,
that. And a woman.
how tall is she, bro? She like 6'9"?
six. I think she's 6'7".
Oh, is she?
And
Oh,
it was crazy because like I first caught wind of her when they played LSU, and she just shut Angel down, like straight bullied her. And I was like, oh, y'all got one of them on y'all team?
you know
Okay.
what's crazy, man? She played for Syracuse, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, she played for Syracuse and transferred.
I'm sorry if y'all hear my goofball in the background. He just
Oh,
got
good, man.
home.
Mine
He been
That's
running
that's
all
our
day,
that's
so
our pod, bro. That's what happens, man. You might hear anything, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
he want to be part of the podcast. I remember when we were when we had our day of love or whatever at the park, and he saw you guys. He was like, "Daddy, are those the ops?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. We're on a podcast called the Ops, but they're not the Ops, son.
You're
They're
not
family."
the
Oh,
oh,
dude.
that's dope.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, fellas. Well, it's been a good show, man. We Josh, we glad that you stopped in, man. And
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bree.
yeah, thanks, Bree. We know you got a lot going on. I mean, your boy's playing football, man. You're doing a lot of stuff with the church and whatnot. So we know you're gonna be in and out, and
Yes, sir.
we just glad that you were able to show up tonight.
Most definitely.
And to PZ and his family, you guys travel safely. PZ's been jumping in and out
Yep.
in the comments.
We'll probably be talking about Devin Booker and the NBA next week. So I hope y'all enjoyed our NBA free show because PZ's back next week. So.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that Devin Wade that got as much run as it's gonna get. I think we're done.
If you
Mm.
want to know about Devin Booker's contract, look in the comment section. It's a wrap.
Um, I like
Signed
book,
deal. Done.
man, but I'm like, yeah, I'm NBA'd out, man.
Yep. I'm with you on that.
I really am, bro.
I'm with
So,
you on that.
all right, cool. Well, with that being said, we really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are still we apply with Facebook to be able to broadcast live over there,
Yep.
and so they made us wait a period of like I think it's 2 months, Josh, right?
60 days. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're pretty
verification and
close
whatnot.
on that first month. So
Yeah, so we by the end of hopefully by August we should be doing that, right?
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
So
we still gonna work on interacting with y'all on the page though. We're gonna be
no
putting
doubt,
up polls and different posts and
Yep.
trying to get some fan participation and might get some shout outs on the show. So
yes,
keep an eye on the Facebook page. Thank you for all the likes and follows so far.
yeah.
Yes.
And
If
until we
you
can stream live.
right, thanks for putting that out there, Z. It's
Yeah.
important, even though we're going to be broadcasting on both. We'll be live on YouTube and on Facebook. If we could get our Facebook followers to show us the same love and come over to YouTube and like and subscribe over there, that way, what it does is not only helps us with the algorithm, but it will help us in our quest to land sponsors too. That's ultimately, what we really want to do.
Absolutely.
The likes and the views and stuff there, it's cool, and that stuff helps us to to get the channel out in front of people. But the subscribers too, that's a big thing. I don't like pandering for subscribers and stuff like that. If you like the content, you like it, subscribe. I don't want to beat everybody over the head to do that, but I just want everybody to know that our mission is to be able to become sponsored, through whether it be advertising or just any sponsorships that we might be able to get through the different venues. So
Absolutely.
with that being said, we appreciate you, and like Zeke said, we will be interactive with you throughout on the Facebook page and on the YouTube page. So make sure you leave your comments, questions, whatever, and somebody will always respond to those. All right. So
Sure.
all right, fellas.
And say it with your chest. Don't be hiding behind no anonymous goofball YouTube tags. Rebellion Watch.
Rebellion Watch.
Oh
Unbelievable.
man, that's I'm gonna leave that
Wow.
alone.
It be your own people, man. It be your own people.
Can't trust them.
No
Can't live with
man,
Can't
them.
trust them.
Can't live without them.
I had a homeboy, man, that did put out a 12-inch, man, like probably like back in the 90s, man. And he had one of the illest lines in one of his songs, and you said it be your own people, man.
Oh,
He said because he said you're acting funny like when blacks get money.
oof.
Mm,
I was like, okay, I see where
dang,
you're going
homie.
with
Dang.
it. Be your own people.
Mm.
I
You
can
heard
dig
it,
it.
Peasy. It be your own people, man. Stop acting funny.
Some people. Good stuff, fellas.
All right, fellas. Well, man, that was another episode down, and want everybody to stay safe. Um, keep it locked in. We'll be here next week, and we appreciate you coming and rocking out with us. We decided to go longer. We're just going to rock with the topics and go longer. We were trying to stay at an hour, but we were missing out some good content, so we just said let's let it rock.
Absolutely.
And so we appreciate you being with us and showing us love. So we'll be here same time next week, and just want you to come on out and join us and have a good time with us. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yeah.
fellas. That's the show for this week. We'll see everybody next week.
Oh.
Peace.
Deuces.
Got it, Josh? Yeah. Yeah, yeah.